Shalom, shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kaha Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, the great millstone. Shalom to the hopeful elect. All right. I'm going to title this video, real quick video, World War III will not slow down. Don't be fooled by the media. Okay. And, I'm going to talk a little bit about the recent happenings that's been going on, as far as, the United States bumping heads with Iran, right? Now, we all know that for a time, the United States was bumping heads with Iran just recently, to where Iran has they shut down the Strait of Hormuz, right? And that's why gas prices in America spiked up. Now you're starting to see it kind of go back down. It's going back down to $5 even, but let's just say 3 weeks ago out here in California, it was like at $5.80 to $6 everywhere, but now it's starting to go down, right? And that's more of Esau's, Esau's basically trying to keep people asleep until an appointed time, because remember, these devils have plans to rearrange the currency system into a digital, a digital system, right? And the market of beasts, which is the RFID micro chip, is going to come through that digital system. All right. And they have to have the perfect execution of that. Right. So, Esau, I'm not going to sit here and say that he's not ready to put the chip out, but he's still trying to, it seems as though Esau is still trying to put the finishing touches on the market of beast programming that he's getting ready to initiate upon the public very, very soon, right? So you'll see things, some things might look like it's going back to normal. Certain distractions are going to be better than ever. Like they just had I don't know if it's still going on. I don't really watch soccer, but the World Cup, right? That's a big distraction, right? Just a whole bunch of distractions everywhere to keep people comfortable, to keep people asleep, right? While the powers that be set up the MOTB system behind the curtain, okay? So, it looked like Esau, he needs a little bit more time, but he's right there. He's right about to cross that line, because Esau knows that once he crosses that line and he starts to make the micro technology mandatory, he knows that there's no going back from that. So he has, in his mind, he has to do everything perfect, right? And if he doesn't have everything perfect, he ain't going to move on it. Right. So it's just going to be a bunch of distractions. Right. So back to the U.S. and the Iran situation, a lot of people are probably letting their guards down, because when you look on the media, this is all you see about, the situation with the United States versus Iran. Right. Because just a couple months ago, all right, it was hot and heavy, right? Assassinations were being carried out. People were dying. Troops were being sent out to the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? It was hot and heavy just a couple months ago. But people see things like this, and this is a ploy to get people to let their guard down, man. So people think that, oh, well, I knew it. World War III is not going to happen in our lifetime, right? So this article right here says, because this is what's showing on the television. This is what they're showing you uh, over social media. But I'm gonna get this second article after this, and I'm gonna show you that what's really going on, okay? And how it's really time to stay more vigilant than ever, and understand that this war is not slowing down, man. Okay, it's just a bunch of smoke screens going on. So this is an article from the NBC News. It says U.S. Iran talks set good foundation for deal to end war, Vance says, right? And this is what you see in American media. Now, we don't know what they're saying in the Iranian media, right? I'm willing to bet that it's something completely different. I'm willing to bet that it's something completely different, right? But this is what they're saying in America, okay? Oh, we're getting ready to end the war. We're talking about a deal, a 14-point peace plan, right? They're trying to give people a sense of security, but the scriptures say when they shall think peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them, right? So this is just another crafty device of Satan to get people to let their guard down to where they're not worried about this war anymore, right? And, this devil is very crafty. This is why you got to keep up to date on things, because, Esau is putting out distractions to cover up other shit, right? Because remember, before this war between the U.S. and Iran, what was the hottest topic? It was the Epstein situation. Everybody was tuned into that. Okay, well, let's get people thinking about war. You know what I'm saying? So then they was pumping this through the media, the situation between the U.S. and Iran and Israel. They was pumping that through the media heavy. But now they're trying to quell this down and tell you that, we're going to resolve the situation peaceful. So who knows what else they're about to come out with, man, right? So you see this situation, right? I don't have to go into the article, but look at this, right? This is what's really going on. This is off the New York Times. It says, what changed after almost 4 months of war? Analysts say not much. You see that? Not much has changed, all right, even with this so-called peace deal. And understand that now this is getting ready to cause other tensions between Israel and the United States of America, all right? Because Israel is still at odds with Iran. So now Israel is looking at America like, why are you making deals with the enemy? You're supposed to be supporting us and supporting us only, right? So it's just a big ass mess that's getting ready to explode everywhere. This is World War III, and it's not slowing down, okay? Let's read a little bit about this. It says, in igniting a war against Iran on February 28, President Trump billed the U.S. campaign as an unprecedented. It's like I'm yawning a little bit. It is 3:40 in the morning, right? I'm at work. As an unprecedented step towards transforming the Middle East and terminating the threat from what he called a wicked radical dictatorship. Roughly 100 days later, as the United States and Iran have reached a somewhat vague memorandum of understanding to end the war, skeptics are expressing bafflement over what exactly has transformed. Ain't nothing changing, man. Okay? Ain't nothing changing. All right? And even if they do have some sort of agreement, the deal is likely to be called off because war is hot and heavy. Somebody's going to break the treaty. All right? Because this is the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai working. This ain't of these niggas. Right? Esau, you're not in control. You Iranians are not in control. You small hat imposter devils out there in the land of Israel are not in control. This is the program of the Lord, man. And if the Lord wants war, war will happen. Okay? All right? It says, neither the war nor the agreement ended what U.S. and Israeli officials regarded as the main threats emanating from Iran. The country's nuclear program, while heavily damaged, was not eliminated. Its fate punted to future negotiation. All right. Let's see. Let's see if we can get something. Because it was some things I was reading up in here. All right. It says by Saturday, even the most significant immediate result of the deal, Iran's reopening of the Strait of Hormuz, which Mr. Trump had identified as essential, seemed at risk. Iran's military said it was closing the waterway again. You see that? Right? But why are they not saying that? Why are they not telling you that Iran is opting to close it again, close down the Strait of Hormuz again? See, they pumping people with this propaganda that we're working out a deal and we're getting ready to open the Strait of Hormuz, but Iran is saying that we're getting ready to close it again, right? Look, it says Iran's military said it was closing the waterway again because the United States had failed to stop fighting in Lebanon. The U.S. military contested that, saying the strait remained open as the agreement stipulated. You see? Just a bunch of he say, she say shit. All right? And meanwhile, people's lives are at stake. And these devils is playing he say, she say all over the internet and over the media. Okay? It says this is not a document the United States agreed to because the war demonstrated a new U.S. military superiority. All right. Okay. All right. It says, I think it's a document that has resulted from the fact that the U.S. bit off more than it could chew and doesn't want to escalate. Right. So, yeah, pretty much, you get the point, right? You might have to go into this article yourself and read, but you get the point, man. All right. It's not all what it seems. Okay. It's not all what it seems. Don't believe Esau. All right. Lying to people saying that we're getting ready to end the war and it's getting ready to be over. Donald Trump he's clearly a liar. All right. He as soon as he got in office, he said he was going to do a whole bunch of shit that he didn't do. That's because Donald Trump is being controlled. All right. But this war is not going to slow down, man. All right. This is not going to slow down. Okay. Let me get Zephaniah 3:8. It says, this is Zephaniah 3:8. It says, therefore wait ye upon me, saith the Lord, until the day that I rise up to the prey. For my determination is to gather the nations. Let's get that word determination. The Lord is determined to bring World War III because this is a part of the final prophecy before the Lord's return. Okay? If World War III doesn't happen in our lifetime very soon, then what does that mean? That means that what? Another 200, 300 years or something? That's how a lot of people out here that don't want the end to happen, they rather suffer this madness 200, 300 more years, man. Right? You know? No, the Lord is ready to end this madness, this wickedness today. Okay? So, you know, this is the Lord's determination, man, to bring about World War III. So it don't matter what the hell Esau's saying. Okay? War is going to happen very soon, man. All right? One thing I noticed, okay, I was watching the UFC event. Was that last week? No, it was about 2 weeks ago, right? June 17th, almost 2 weeks ago. UFC White House, where they was fighting at the White House. And I noticed one of the commercials was a draft commercial. It was influencing people to sign up for the military. Right? And I stood out to me. I was like, damn, they pretty much put a commercial basically telling you that they're getting ready to draft you very soon. right? Because it was one of them commercials where it was like, you need to sign up for the army, fight, 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 trying to put that shit in your head, fight, fight for your country, fight, right? Because they're getting ready to start a draft pretty soon, because the war is getting hot and heated. Now Esau, he ain't gonna tell you that. He gonna make it seem like it's all good. Everything's going back down to going back to normal. Look, gas prices are being lowered again, right? But these are just numbers, man. Okay? These are just numbers. At the end of the day, when you go to the gas station and you see the gas price, let's just say it's $4 a gallon, that's just a number, okay? That's just a damn number, man. All right? Esau, he'll put himself in debt, right? Esau don't care about putting himself in debt. He'll sit there and say, gas is back down to normal, knowing that him bringing gas back down to normal like that is going to put him in more debt, right? But he don't care because he's getting ready to restart this system. So before the economy crash, Esau might start throwing out all types of incentives and start making a whole bunch of shit cheap, so that way people don't really look into what the hell is really going on, man. Oh, well, look, everything's cheap. Look, rent. My rent was $1,700. Now it's $1,000. The government, the economy must be doing real good. The war is over. But hey, what does the Lord say? My determination is to gather the nations. Let's get this word determination. Determination. In the blue letter, definition: judgment, justice, ordinance, act of deciding a case. You see that? Sentence, decision, execution. You see? So when the Lord says that it's his determination to gather the nations for World War III, that's what the Lord is going to do, meaning that the Lord is full set on that idea that World War III must happen in this lifetime very soon. Okay, let me finish this off because I want to shut this video down. It says, for my determination is to gather the nations, that I may assemble the kingdoms, to pour upon them mine indignation, even all my fierce anger, for all the earth shall be devoured with the fire of my jealousy. You see? World War III is going to happen soon. There will be a military draft. Don't listen to the fucking media. Don't listen to these devils. Esau is lying to people, man. He needs people asleep until he can pull off his big maneuver. Okay? Habakkuk 2 and 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. Okay? And tarry is another word for procrastinating, or it's taking long, right? And this is why people don't want to believe us. This is why people don't want to believe the prophets when we tell them that World War III is getting ready to happen, because it's taking too damn long. So in their mind, it's like, oh, well, y'all been saying that for 20 years, man. When is it going to happen? Not knowing that we're actually closer to World War III than we've ever been in American history, man. And you people have no idea because you're not paying attention. Too many distractions, too many concerts. The World Cup, the Knicks just won the championship, right? Stupid shit. New albums coming out, right? You're not paying attention, But guess what? This when it actually does hit, it's gonna hit these people like a brick, and they're not even gonna know where it came from. One day, the average American is just gonna wake up and they're gonna go to the gas station, and that motherfucker gonna say $15 a gallon. Right? Then they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Right? Nigga probably gonna have to call off work. I can't afford that. Damn. Then you're gonna go to the grocery store. It's only gonna be two things going on. Either the price of all food has tripled, or there ain't no food up in there at all, right? Then other things is gonna start happening. Then they're gonna start really pressing people to join the military, to the point to where they're gonna start hunting people down, knocking on doors, grabbing niggas out of school, you in your little college class, right? Motherfucking military pull up on your class and grab you by the arm and tell you that you've been selected, right? That's when it's gonna hit. That's when people gonna be like, yo, what the hell is going on, man? When was all this going on? You wasn't paying attention, right? Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. You see that? World War III will surely happen. It's not going to slow down, man. All right? Don't listen to Esau. Don't listen to what they telling you in the news. Okay? Look into things, all right? Tap into the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, right? You know, do some thorough research on the things that's going on. Don't just take everything for face value, because there's a lot of enchantments going on out here. And Esau is throwing out a whole bunch of incentives for people to stay asleep, right? So, Lord willing, this was edifying. I'll shut it down. Give all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai once again. Shalom.